Michael Coca. I am the co-founder and chief operating officer of Linqura. We are an insurance AI company, primarily focused on helping enable agents, brokers, and carriers being able to make better decisions all throughout the insurance value chain. So what we're doing at Linqura kind of starts from the inside out. So again, we have our core AI models, and it's ingesting a lot of information in and around the insurance industry. Understanding what insurance coverages you have, what kind of exposures may you run into, how do you mitigate those exposures, and similarly, we're focusing on commercial insurance, so getting to know the business as well. So we are, curating and scraping data all across, getting information about businesses, and this is really coming into our first generation of our product, which is the Sybil chatbot. Where we will be providing a conversational chatbot aimed at insurance agents to allow them to allow new agents or experienced agents in new areas that they may not normally write business in to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk, for lack of a better word. The challenge is, direct with WSO2 and Choreo, and as well as, around that. So, our primary, focus as a company is working within building our own AI, right? So that's where a lot of our time and a lot of our effort really needs to be focused on. I can't really spend a lot of time worrying about, my environments, deployments, integrations. How am I going to get my data to my AI guys? How am I going to get our insights out of that? And so Choreo has really taken a lot of that burden off for us, where we can focus a lot of our investment, a lot of our time, and a lot of our resources. Looking at integration, basic within the AWS and GCP stack, as well as specifically, I have past experience working with Jitterbit. I've got great experience with each of those, the good, the bad, the in-between. But I think what kind of drove me to make the decision to go to Choreo was it really fit the best of both worlds in terms of what I was looking for. So having the accessible user interface for me, where I can look at the environments, I can look at the logs, I can look at at that 10,000 foot level, how everything is doing within all of my environments, but still giving me the flexibility that I would in a fully code solution, right? So I've gone down the low code, no code path, and I've gone down the fully code path, but I wanted to find somewhere which really married itself in the middle, and Choreo has been fantastic for that so far. We initially approached you when we were really a prototype app and an idea. So there, we were able to grow our implementation along with our product, and we're still doing that today. So it's been a seamless process. You guys have given me the opportunity to not have to spend a lot of time worrying about the the integration and the deployments and the environment centered around that. So you've been a complete enabler in terms of having me focus my time more on the core of our product and not have to worry about the key and core things around that, but the things I really don't want to be spending a lot of time on. The observability features have been fantastic for this. I've got my testers in there testing all throughout the day. We'll get on a call, we'll get on a chat together. Someone say, oh, I ran into this weird answer in the chat, or I got this error, or something didn't come back at they'll give me around this time frame. But being able to search the logs the way that I can within Choreo, I'm able to pinpoint and say, all right, I can see the error, I can see the time, I can see exactly what that error was, and we can collaborate greatly on that. And then just the overall observability of seeing the container resources and everything, right? So when we have to start to, eliminate causes for specific errors, it's very easy for me to say, okay, no, I don't think it's A, I don't think it's B. Let's look at C and D here, and then just the overall build and deploy process, right? So we have Choreo connected into our repositories, so whatever specific events we need here, we're able to trigger the processes we need, be able to build, and then promote and deploy however we need to. And again, it's never it's never a mystery or a question in terms of, all right, which version, which image do we have on which environment, and how are they each running? So it's been a complete enabler in that process, and making sure we focus on what we really need to focus on. In the past, I've managed Kubernetes clusters across multiple environments. And it's always been a little bit more work for me to be able to kind of observe across all the different environments and how they get to play. But here, it's all there in one place. The scaling of the environments are managed. Everything's there. So again, it really takes my hands off. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic for me. And I think the fact that I think specifically when I was messing around a bit with Ballerina and understanding the integrations on that side as well, and how it's code, but it's also code that as I code, I can also observe and see on the side as well. Because again, ultimately, I understand, the niceties of no code and being able to drag and drop and say everything like that. But again, being able to get to the other side and actually code it and have complete control over what I do is preferable for me. So. Support has been fantastic. So, the accessibility, of the people on your team, whether it's, how do I, utilize my features, extend out features, look to grow alongside, as well as even when I have questions about, hey, how does this particular feature work, or I'm running into a little bit of a snag in terms of working with this feature. You guys have been extremely accessible, in terms of helping me at like very short order and getting my answers met. And actually, specifically, I know when I was, working with you guys early on, I was poking, I think, at a few features which you guys may have already had on your roadmap or close to your roadmap. And so, the updates on actually getting those deployed and seeing those through on things I was looking for is fantastic. Again, our core product is going to be our core product, but what I'm tasked with, understanding and implementing here are ways that I can provide our core product to our customers. What different channels, what different interfaces can I provide for them? So we've got our core chatbot now, but there's plans in our future to allow integration via API, via embedded libraries, as well as hosted instances, right? And so namely with the API and the embedded libraries, right? I'm going to want to start to get a little bit more fine-grained in terms of the security and the management around that. So that's really where we're going to the next step, especially utilizing the API management side, more of Choreo, and then as well with Choreo, the identity and access management of that. Again, I think it's, if anybody's looking for, kind of that best of both worlds of code and no code and how that all seamlessly plays together, I can't, recommend Choreo enough here. So far, fantastically satisfied.